Well, well.
Oh, hello, Dr. Quarterman.
I'm surprised to see you here at this hour.
Yeah, well, I heard about your little baby being so ill, and I wanted to come down and see if I could be of any help.
Well, that's so very thoughtful, Mr. Corrigan.
Yeah, why don't you join me?
Well, thank you.
So, how is your little boy?
Well, he's out of surgery. He's in intensive care now.
Poor little guy.
He'll make it.
Well, that's the way to talk, huh? Isn't this incredible what's happening in this city?
Yes, it really is. Which reminds me, there's no point in keeping the disco open.
Oh, no, I closed fairly early tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure you couldn't have very many customers.
And not in this weather, no.
I'm going to be closing it permanently. It really isn't paying for itself.
You're going to close the disco permanently?
That's what I said.
Well, I must say that, that really comes as quite a surprise to me.
Yes, I'm sure, but see, we Quartermains, we love to have things pay for themselves. I'll give you 2 weeks severance pay. Is that satisfactory?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Good. I'll send it to whatever address you'll be using when you leave town. I'm sure you will be leaving town. Could I have the keys, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You know, this really has thrown me.
Yes, I'm sure it has.
Well, it's been a real pleasure working for you.
I'll bet.
Dr. Hardy, I can't tell you how happy.
Well, isn't this a surprise, Mr. Corrigan?
Yes, we were just having a little chat. Unfortunately, Mr. Corrigan's going to be leaving my employ at the disco.
Oh?
Yes. Oh, by the way, Monica, you were so busy with the baby before, I picked up both of our messages. This one's yours.
Oh, my God. I really blew it, Monica. I really blew it for you.
What is this
Hey,
all
just read the
about?
message, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Urgent. I see you read SMS anymore. My God, how could you do this to me?
How did I know that he was going to get a hold of it?
Well, what is it? I mean, what does it mean?
It means that Susan Moore is just giving birth to Alan's baby.
Probably in the control room.
What's that?
Hiya, Tiff.
Oh, you don't have to go back. Amy, I want to talk to you.
What's wrong?
You do not give any messages for one doctor to any other doctor. Do you understand that? But how dare you give Alan my messages? They were meant for me. Those messages were intended for me.
He asked.
I don't care if the whole hospital asks for messages. Not messages that are mine and mine alone. And Amy, I will not tolerate conduct like that. I mean it.
Monica, come over.
Jesse.
I'd just like to talk to you for a second. I think that's about enough. I know you're tired, I know you're overworked, and I know you're worried about your child. There's no reason to lose control.
Jesse, you don't know.
Yes,
really.
I do. I do know. Believe me, I do. A difficult time for all of us. But in the future, if you have a complaint about the efficiency of my nursing staff, I would appreciate it if you came to me and not to the nurses, or particularly the student nurses.
That's what's going on.
Nothing. Rick, you are right, Jesse. I was out of line. I apologize. I apologize to you, Amy. I'm very sorry.
Monica, what is it? What happened?
Everything, Rick. Everything's wrong. My child is sick. I don't know what's happening in the city. I feel like the whole world is just coming around.
You are in recovery. You haven't heard. The crisis is over. The city will be warming by tomorrow morning. We're going to make it. And so is your son. You better?
Yeah.
Okay. Alan, I think today has been a little too much for Monica. It really has.
Yes, I'm sure. Excuse me.
Sure.
Thank you. Monica, why don't we go over to the floating river and get something to eat? They've stayed open all night to service the staff. I think we need to talk.
I don't think we have anything to talk about, Al. Except maybe the fact that the crisis is over in Port Charles.
It may be over in Port Charles, Monica. But our personal crisis is just starting. Come on, let's go have a talk.
Oh, look, I have to change, and I want to look in on Alan Jr.
I'm gonna go pack, go to New York, pick up Leslie, and we are off to see our daughter.
That's wonderful. Give her our love.
Especially mine.
I will too, Amy. I will.
Thank
Monica and I are going to check on Alan Jr., and then we're going to the floating rib.
All right, Alan.
Alan, if things hold out, your son is gonna be fine. It's a great world out there, right?
It's very good of you to stay open for the staff. We appreciate it. Listen, I think that my wife and I need a little time to wind down before we order, okay? Oh, sure. Thank you.
Wind down, really. That's a joke. Isn't it more winding up to slug it out?
Monica, I don't want this to be rough on you. You've been through a lot with Alan Jr. being ill and everything.
Well, who's to say it's going to be any rougher on me than it is going to be on you?
I know about Corrigan.
Oh, no matter what he said.
I know you hired him.
So? Any law against that?
No law, Monica. The only mistake you made was you got caught.
Well, you made that mistake a number of times now.
How long you been spying on me?
Long enough to find out just what I needed to know. It's just like old times, isn't it? Only this time the roles were reversed. Listen, tell me something. Did you enjoy spying on Rick and me?
I hated it.
Well, that's funny, because I rather enjoyed it myself. Finding things out.
Such as?
Well, such as an adorable little cottage right across the harbor. One day I discovered who lived there. In fact, I think you just might know who it was. Susan Moore?
I'm sorry you found out about Alan and me.
Well,
I'm sure. Thank you very much. We won't be long. I know you want to close up and get some rest. Take your time, sir. Thank you.
do take your time, sir. Because for the first time, I now have the upper hand.
How dare you hire a detective to spy on me?
Because I'm desperate, Alan, you know that.
You assumed that I was involved in just a cheap affair, didn't you?
Look, I don't care what it was.
After Rick Weber, I'll tell you something. You've got a hell of a nerve trying to interfere with me in any way.
Oh, come on, don't be silly, Al. Yeah. Yes, I had an affair with another man. That is true. But I didn't try to kill anyone.
You'll have a tough time trying to prove that.
That doesn't really bother me. What I want to prove is what's been going on between you and Susan Moore.
I know you would. But that'd be difficult. I wouldn't have any difficulty trying to prove anything about you, Monica. The entire city knows everything.
No kidding. What crime is it that you're accusing me of this time?
The worst one. The absolute worst one. Our son, that dear little child that's lying across the street from the hospital, desperately ill. Our son, who I loved more than life itself. The one that you try to peddle off as belonging to Rick Weber. I've got to tell you something, that to a man that's worse than trying to kill anything or anybody. From that moment, our relationship was dead. And I still tried, and you know I tried. God knows how many times I came to your bedroom and you slammed the door in my face.
How long have you been sleeping with Susan Moore? Since the first time I slammed that door in your face?
You'd like the answer to be yes, but it isn't. I didn't go around just looking for another woman.
Look, I really don't want to hear about all of this,
You've got to hear about it. I didn't go around looking for another woman. I would have been blind not to see how attractive Susan was, but I didn't go looking. Every time I got anywhere near her, she just told me to get lost.
Huh. Well, she's not a dummy.
It took me such a very long time to get close to her.
Now that I believe. Because it took a long time with me, too.
I'm only sorry it didn't take longer. Then maybe the two of us wouldn't be sitting here trying to cut each other up. Look, I love Susan, Monica. I want to marry her.
Well, Alan, what can I say? It's too bad.
Let's drop it. I can see that the only thing you feel for me is hatred, so let's drop it. But as the two of us enter into a civilized divorce, that's all.
Come on, no. We can't do that, Alan. That isn't possible, not between us.
I don't see any reason why not.
Oh, I do. Very much so. Because I become very uncivilized every time a topic of our son is brought up.
There is no reason to upset our son. I don't want that to happen either. Now, there are many children who weather a divorce.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Alan. Who said we were talking about divorce?
Of course we are.
No, we're not. We're talking about custody.
We'll share it.
Oh, no, not on your life.
I'll never give up my son.
Well, then, my friend, you should have thought twice before you entered into your affair with the beautiful Susan Moore. Because you see, Alan, I plan on having total custody of my son.
You'll never get it.
Oh, I think with what you have just admitted.
Monica, there are so many things that I can prove about you. Don't start.
But I think I have a little more ammunition than you do right now. You're stupid, Al. You're so stupid if you don't think I don't know the whole story. Would you like me to tell you the entire story about your wonderful affair with Miss Susan Moore?
All right, so you know I have another son.
You're out of wedlock, son. To put it delicately.
How low do you plan to sink, Monica?
Low as I have to get what I need.
I'm never going to let you hurt Susan or that child.
But I don't want to, Alan. It's just that I may be forced to.
This is between you and me, only.
No, I'm sorry. It isn't, you see. Because I need to use the fact that you've had an illicit affair with another woman while you were married to me. And there is a child to prove it. You think that would really be interesting reading?
Don't threaten me.
Because I think there are loads of tabloids that would just die to get their hands on this information. I mean, the antics of the powerful and the rich.
Don't do it, Monica. I'm telling you, two could play. You'll be sorry.
I know that. But you see, I don't really care right now. So you go ahead. You go ahead as a quartermaid. And you do your best to drag my name through the mud, all right?
I don't want either of us to do anything like that. It'll only hurt our son.
No, it won't. No, it won't. I'll see to that. I'll take care of him. We will move to another city. I will make a new life for myself. I'll even change my name if I have to. Because, Alan, I don't need you. And neither does my son.
I'll come after you, Monica. I will come after you. You will never take my son away from me.
Oh, you just try to stop me.